I do think that she's a bit delusional here, and also like maybe the slightest bit disrespectful, because I mean, I don't know.
So we need to be completely honest about A'ja Wilson here, because these are some of the dumbest, conversations ever in sport is surrounding A'ja Wilson.
When A'ja Wilson claimed she could beat NBA players one-on-one, while the basketball world has spoken. And it's not pretty. From NBA veterans to WNBA legends, everyone's weighing in on Wilson's bold statement.
Have to be made, but we gotta do it because unfortunately that's just the way things are right now. It seems you have to talk about whether or not A'ja Wilson is better than freaking NBA players. Like, what is going on?
Has she completely lost it? Stick around as we dive into the firestorm of reactions that's engulfing the WNBA's reigning MVP. Trust me, you won't believe what some of these players are saying. Are you ready? Let's go.
A'ja Wilson recently went on the Roommates podcast, and that is a podcast with Jalen Brunson and Josh Hart. They also do really well on their podcast. It's pretty wholesome. She went on to talk about all things WNBA.
You know what's wild? A'ja Wilson just dropped a statement so bold it's got the entire basketball world buzzing. And get this, she's not just saying it, she's 1000% believing it. Picture this: Wilson fresh off her MVP season, sitting pretty on a Roommates show. She's all smiles, basking in her recent success. Then, out of nowhere, she starts talking about playing one-on-one against NBA players. Wait, what?
He wants to know, what is the end score if you and Josh play one-on-one to 11?
Let's break down exactly what she said, because trust me, it's pretty unbelievable. She didn't just say she could compete, oh no, she went all in. Wilson claimed she'd get the ball first, and her opponent wouldn't get it back. That's some serious confidence right there. A'ja really thinks she can take on NBA talent and come out on top. Now you're probably thinking, who's the unlucky NBA player she's calling out? Well, she set her eyes on none other than Josh Hart, a starter for the New York Knicks. He's averaging 14, 2 points, 8, 9 rebounds, and 7 assists per game this year. Not exactly a walkover, right?
The score would be like 8 to 11. Me.
It's not that long.
I get ball first.
You get ball first.
She does get ball first.
Not gonna get it back. And you but that's gonna be your time. Like, that's gonna be your period, which is fine. I'm not saying you're gonna go scoreless, but 8 to 11, I feel like.
Hold up, there's more to this story. The hosts' reactions, priceless. They couldn't believe what they were hearing. And honestly, can you blame them? Wilson didn't just say she'd win. She gave us a score prediction. Are you ready for this? She claimed she'd beat Hart 11-8 in a one-on-one game. That's not just winning, that's a convincing victory in her mind.
What do you think it'll be, Josh? Don't piss me off. Do not piss me off.
Here's where it gets even crazier. Josh Hart, being the good sport he has decided to play along. At first, he jokingly said he'd win 11-2, but then after Wilson got mad, he graciously adjusted his prediction to 11-7. Still a win for him, but at least he's giving her a little more credit, right?
Like a good 11, probably like 11-7.
Okay, that's fair. You got 7? Okay.
No.
You're probably thinking what I'm thinking. Has A'ja lost her mind? I mean, confidence is great and all, but this is on another level. We're talking about the NBA, here the best of the best in men's basketball, and Wilson's not just saying she can compete, she's saying she can dominate.
A'ja Wilson is the queen of the delusion. She's absolutely the queen of the delusion.
Let's be real for a second. A'ja Wilson is an incredible basketball player. She's got the skills, the accolades, and the MVP trophy to prove it, but taking on NBA players one, that's a whole different ball game. The size difference, the strength advantage. It's not just about skills at that point.
Hart should have flamed her. He should have sent her into the abyss. 11-0. Let's be honest. 11-0. You can give her the ball first, you can block her shot, you can grab the rebound, and then you can dunk it on her.
So what do we make of all this? Is Wilson just showing the ultimate confidence of a champion? Or has she taken it a step too far? One thing's for sure, she's got everyone talking, but Before we jump to conclusions, let's see what the pros have to say about this bold claim. Trust me, their reactions are just as wild as Asia's statement.
Comes down to a game that's as physical as one-on-one when it comes down to the speed, the height, the quickness, the defensive abilities. That's where I think that Josh Hart and some of these men, and you have to understand, men in the NBA have some of the biggest egos in the world, and rightfully so when it comes to their sport, because they have worked really hard to get to that place and they have beat out so many people along the way. And so I feel like their ego is like, how dare you even say that?
Jeff Teague, former NBA All-Star and champion, isn't buying Wilson's hoop dreams. When he heard her comments, he went full bulldozer mode, crushing her claim hard on his podcast. Teague dropped a bombshell. He flat out said Wilson couldn't beat any NBA player, G League player, or even a college baller. Talk about a harsh takedown. So A'ja Wilson can't be nobody, and NBA might get SP, not one they talking bench players, everybody. Teague showing just how big the gap is between men's and women's basketball, and it's not looking good for her. He pointed out that these guys are serious players who've been crushing it since high school, and Teague knows what he's talking about. He's been there, done that. He gave us an inside look at pro basketball, saying, y'all know on the bench used to average 40 in high school, and in college. Teague really drove his point home. He thinks the difference in physical ability and skill is so big that A'ja wouldn't have a chance against even lower-level male players. That's got to hurt. Now Wilson is a star in the WNBA. She's got game and an MVP trophy to prove it, but Teague's talking about a whole different ball game. He's saying men's basketball, with all its athleticism and high-flying plays, is just on another level. The top WNBA player is not beating the 12-man. Not, she not beating in the G League. She not beating in college. Is Teague just telling it like it is? Or is he selling WNBA players short? And what does this mean for the big debate about men's versus women's basketball? What Icy's a WNBA legend have to say you're not going to believe who else is jumping into this Wilson drama? The one and only Cheryl Miller, folks. Yeah, that's Cheryl Miller, the basketball legend who once dropped 105 points in a high school game and had her college jersey retired before she even graduated from USC. Talk about a baller. Now you'd think Miller would be all about supporting her fellow female star, right? Well, hold on to your seats, because her take on this whole situation is not what you'd expect from a women's basketball icon. Instead of backing up Wilson's bold claims, Miller's got some thoughts of her own that are raising eyebrows across the basketball world, but there's no question and no doubt in my mind that I could play. I would have been not just competitive in the W, wouldn't miss the beat. Here's the twist. Miller isn't just commenting on Wilson's statement. No, she's making a bold declaration of her own, and let me tell you, it's a doozy. But wait, there's more. Miller didn't stop at just saying she could hang in today's WNBA. She took it a step further and called out A'ja Wilson specifically. Get this, Miller said she could guard her and make life difficult for her on the court. In her own words, there's no one now that I look at even today. A'ja might be the one, like, she'd get hers, but God, I would always make sure I got 10 more than she did, or she wouldn't get hers. I mean, I always had. I wasn't just a scorer. I feel very comfortable that I could guard A'ja and make it very difficult now. You might be thinking, who does Cheryl Miller think she is? Well, let me remind you, we're talking about a 3-time Naismith College Player of the Year, a 2-time Olympic gold medalist, and a 5-time gold medalist with Team USA. This woman's got more hardware than a Home Depot, so when she talks, people listen. But